The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. One day I traveled to Berlin to see just where the wall was. They tore it down in '89 in the name of love. But to some of us the wall still stands, and to some it never did. The problem lies not in the stones, but in the minds that built it. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. Everyone around the world all feel the same emotions. The children know what Lenin said, that all we need is love. We've glorified the intellect and sacrificed the heart. Let's blow the walls to kingdom come. We all can do our part, yeah. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. Paradise is nothing but a state of mind when there's love in your heart. Unity is waiting just around the bend. Now's the time for us to do our part. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers.
Without a warning, without a sound, we woke up one morning to a world turned upside down. Everything changed in the blink of an eye, dealing with the unknown and trying to survive. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over, in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. We've been through quite a battle, like none we've ever seen. We kept hoping we'd wake up to find out it was all a bad dream. But that day's never come. It'll be a while yet, with more obstacles to overcome and challenges to be met. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over, in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over, in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. And when this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more.
No more doubt or confusion. I release pain of illusion. Yes, there's only one solution. Yeah, yeah. What I found is oh so simple. Deeper love in a temple, and I found it in the stillness of my soul. 'Cause all there is God. Oh, yeah. All there is God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All there is God. Let me hear your voice. All there is God. Now I'm resting in the knowing that my good is overflowing, and my faith is ever growing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, take me back to the beginning. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Make me stronger, make
is God.
All there is God.
All there is God.
All there
All there is God. God is all there is. Now I'm resting in the knowing that my good is overflowing, and my faith is ever growing. Yeah, yeah. Take me back to the beginning. Feel my spirit moving in me. Make me stronger, make me willing. Yeah.
All there is God.
This is God, yeah.
All there is God.
Oh, God, everywhere you turn.
All there
All there is God. Love,
all there is love.
love, peace.
All there is peace.
Past all understanding. Truth.
All there is truth.
God.
All there is God.
All there is God. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? Given the chance, I'm gonna tell you now. How many ways can I give thanks for the blessings I have known? I've got a list, and I will tell you how. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart.
I'm welcome to the Sunday People of Diversity service. We are a multi-faith community, and we believe there are many paths to one divinity. We're all going in the same place, but we got whole lots of different ways of getting there. If you've been with us for very long, you know that that is the truth. So we have 9 faith perspectives, 9 different speakers, each from a different faith, and we have 10 positive music artists that join us each week. They each take a week. We give them a topic. And right now the topic that we are in is prayer. And so each of our 9 speakers takes the topic of prayer, and they give us a video, and the artists, the musicians give us a couple of videos, and we put all that together. Well, I say we, Philip puts all that together and creates a Sunday service. So what we end up with is 9 weeks of different faith perspectives on one topic. So it's been a really amazing journey. I've personally grown a lot. It's really something great for spiritual seekers. So if you would like to join us in this effort, join this community, go to www.peopleofdiversity.org, and you can push that donate button and send a tithe or an offering, and that will help keep us going. We are paying our speakers, we are paying our musicians, and we pay Philip. So thank you.
Last week we had Shaman Shannon Davis with Bob Sima and Shaman Shannon Plummer, and they did an amazing job.
Yeah,
it was a great service, and we are very grateful for them. This week we have another treat for you. Rabbi Pat Hickman joins us with David Roth. And again, as Becky mentioned earlier, the topic is prayer. So we are very, very much looking forward to this Sunday. And again, next weekend, or the following week, is going to be just as fun. Oracle will be presenting his talk on prayer, excuse me, and he will be joined by Kim Ballou, who is giving her first full Sunday service. She's joined us a couple of times for special occasions, but she joined our rotation, and this is her first full Sunday all to herself.
Right.
So we're excited to have that come together for us as well. Remember that you can pick up past services in the live section of both of the Facebook pages, and you can go to the New Way Pod on YouTube and pick up all of the newest and latest videos there as well. Join us at 11:45 to precisely 12:15 for the deep dive. I don't know that Rabbi Pat is going to be able to join us this time, but I heard a rumor that she's going to have more time and be able to join us more often on our Sunday excursions, especially into the deep dive for now. And we're excited about that too. So at 5:45 every day, we do a second service, an opportunity for you to...
Every Sunday, not every day.
Oh, every day?
Every day.
That would be a bit much.
That'd be too much.
Yes.
Just want to make sure there wasn't any misunderstanding about that. Go ahead.
Every Sunday at 5:45, we replay the Sunday service, so as to give everybody an opportunity to come back, who might want to view it a second time. Bring a friend with you on that return trip, or perhaps send someone back through the week. We pin it to the top of the page after the evening service on both of the Facebook pages. I think that's all I know.
That's a lot. Every week we bless a state, and we are zooming through the 50 states. We are next week is Virginia. So if you have fun facts or pictures from Virginia, send them to the email address below, and we will include them in our state blessing. This week we are blessing Vermont, and I found out some very interesting, cool things about Vermont. I drove through Vermont once, and it didn't take very long. From 1777 to 1791, in 1791 they joined the United States, but before that, Vermont was an independent country called the Vermont Republic. They had their own post office, they issued their own money, and they abolished slavery. They are the largest producer of maple syrup in the United States, producing over 500,000 gallons of maple syrup a year. Wow. Thank you. The Von Trapp family that inspired the movie The Sound of Music moved to Stowe, Vermont in 1942, and their descendants still run the family ski lodge. Vermont is the least religious state. Only 22% of their residents consider religion important or regularly attend religious services. They were the first state to legislate same-sex marriage. Billboards have been illegal since 1968.
Amen.
Yeah, no messing up the view of their landscape from the highway. There are no skyscrapers in Vermont. The tallest building is 11 stories. Here's the last one, I like this one. Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream co-founders took a $5 correspondence course in ice cream making and invested $12,000 in 1978 to open their first store in a renovated gas station in Burlington, Vermont. Ben and Jerry's, wow, yes. So, we hold the people of Vermont in our hearts. We see them in love, in joy, in peace and happiness. And we send them our good vibrations, and we say these words together. May peace prevail in Vermont. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. This week we have two of my favorite people. Not that they're not all my favorites, so yeah, but David Roth. He has been a friend of the pod for a very long time. He's been coming to our live place for many years, doing concerts, and he's just a sweet, open, authentic individual. And it's just a pleasure that he joined us on this virtual adventure. So David's always great, and we love him. So,
amen.
And Rabbi Pat Hickman is new to the family. I've never actually met her in person, but every single talk that this person has given us has been amazing. She comes from her heart. It is so obvious that she believes everything and in everything that she's saying. And it's just beautiful, and we so appreciate that she has joined us, and we look forward to when she can start doing some live things with us. She doesn't live that far away, so when we start doing some live events, we're going to keep our Sunday services virtual, but when we start doing some live events, she'll be able to join us, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being that very first day, then I get to give her a big hug. So, without further ado, let's see David Roth and then Rabbi Pat Hickman on prayer.
Hey, if you're lucky enough to be sharing your Zoom room in person with somebody else, you could look at them right now and say, I can't wait to hear you sing with David. Here we go. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to beat it. I'm just looking for more kindness in this world. That's it, try it with me. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. Same thing. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more kindness in this world. What else you looking for? I'm looking for more loving in this world. I'm looking for more loving in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more loving in this world. My turn. This is what I'm seeing. We're in trouble A to Z, and there's no quick solution anyone is willing to make. Even though it may be glaring, it is time to be more daring, and it's time to be more caring, for goodness sake. I'm looking for more peace in this world. There it is. I'm looking for more peace in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more peace in this world. And I'm looking for compassion in this world. I am looking for compassion in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for compassion in this world. Here's that other part. This is what I'm seeing, we're in trouble A to Z, and there's no quick solution anyone is willing to make. Even though it may be glaring, it is time to be more daring, and it's time to be more caring for goodness sake. I'm looking for more grace in this world. Sing. I'm looking for more grace in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more grace in this world. And I'm looking for more justice in this world. I'm looking for more justice in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more justice in this world. And I'm looking for more grace in this world. And I'm looking for compassion in this world. Peace. And I'm looking for more peace in this world. Loving. And I'm looking for more loving in this world. Kindness. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. There's a thundering sound inside my heart I feel with an open palm. It's a yearning that pierces every part. It's the roaring of noiseless calm. There is something inside that I can trust, above the commotion and din. It is when I am willing to slow down, quietly go within. It is cool, it is constant and steady. It is life without all the distractions. It's a pond without ripples, a sky without clouds. It is conscious and silent action. There's a thundering sound inside my heart I feel with an open hand. It's a yearning that pierces every part, right down to a grain of sand. And even where doubt has found me, I am stronger than suffering and fear. And I am more than the imprint that bound me, that I used to survive all these years. There's a thundering sound inside my heart I feel with an open palm. It's a yearning that pierces every part. It's the roaring of noiseless calm.
Recording for Pod. I am Rabbi Pat Hickman from Temple Israel, and this is my talk on prayer. A little nigun, a wordless melody, to begin our talk on prayer. Dear friends, many years ago, I was performing with the Santa Fe Opera. Yes, I was an opera singer back then, years ago. The theater was an outdoor theater, so the starting time of the performance each night was different because we had to wait till the sun went down to begin the performance. The first night I performed there, I was in my dressing room waiting for the stage manager to knock on the door and tell us to go to our places. The knock came, and the stage manager said, "It's time for sunset." I didn't know what he was talking about, but I went outside. I wandered out of my dressing room and followed the other people to the back of the stage that looked out on the open mountains. We all stood at the railing, looking out on the shadowed mountains and watched the sun go down. The sky was the colors of gold and red and orange. The mountains loomed tall and majestic. The air was scented soft and sweet perfume. A large eagle flew overhead. I was transported to another time, place, perhaps even level of existence. I was connected to each and everything in the universe. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. All is one. As the sun dropped behind the mountains, the stage manager called out, "Places, please." And with a heart cracked open and filled with love and wonder, I turned to my joy. The music. The opera began. I share this with you today as I recollect that time with the memory as if it was yesterday. This was one of my many aha moments in my life, when I was filled with God and a prayer came spontaneously to my lips. "Oh God, how great you are! Dwelling in your house is happiness, but offering praise to you is better still. Selah." I have been immersed my whole life in prayer. For many of us, that means the prayer said inside a house of worship. For me, it includes that, most definitely, but reaches far deeper. The first question would be, why do you pray? When we want to share our holidays together, we say our ancient prayers, melding our prayers with the prayers that are said by the people all over the world. When something terrible happens in our world, we want to be with others and we share the prayers of hope and healing. Prayer in community is what may bring us to these holy spaces. When we are celebrating a life cycle event, like a baby naming, or a coming of age ceremony called a bar bat mitzvah, special prayers for each time, a confirmation, which is where we reaffirm our commitment to God, or a wedding, where 7 special wedding blessings are chanted. And most importantly, we come together to lay to rest our loved ones and bring comfort to the mourners. Any great milestone we want to share together is said in prayer and in community. Yet, there's much more to prayer. For my prayer, as I witnessed the glory of that sunset years ago, was a prayer of awe, of gratitude. I start and begin my work day in prayer. When I drive over the causeway from the beach where I live to the mainland where my temple is, I see the amazing vista of sparkling water and the vast sky. And at night when I return, often after dark, when the water is reflecting the hundreds of twinkling lights from the coastline, when at the bed of a loved one who is sick or dying, I will be compelled to prayers of healing, faith, and trust that something lies beyond this life of ours. Prayer may be spontaneously erupting from our lips all throughout the day. Oh God, oy vey, help me. Why? Please, dear God, don't let me be sick. Spontaneous prayers. Besides being a rabbi, I am also a spiritual director. What is spiritual direction? Well, it's like being a spiritual life coach or a companion that walks with you as you search for God in your life. Through prayer and meditation, music, movement, and sometimes even text study, we all are able to access that voice, that deep, still voice within. All this and more I can bring to a session with someone alone or with a whole congregation who may be seeking a closer connection to God. Through a spiritual exploration rather than a clinical one, the spiritual seeker perhaps can find the answers to his or her questions. I was ordained a spiritual director through the Aleph ordination programs, part of the Jewish renewal movement. Now, some within the movement may not want to call it a movement, but rather a way that anyone of any background can find ways to renew their faith. I remember vividly when the founder of the renewal movement died several years ago. His name was Reb Zalman Schachter Shalomi. Now, we were all studying that summer and praying together at a special gathering in Portland, Oregon. Many of my colleagues believed that he planned to die during this particular week when his community of teachers and students were together praying. Knowing his passing was imminent, his instructions were for us to continue learning and not to come to Denver for the funeral. Many of his most beloved students and disciples were at this retreat, and despite their overwhelming grief, in honor of his memory and his wishes, they continued teaching and praying together. The day after he died was the Sabbath, and on the Sabbath, our rabbis teach us that we are to feel joy, even if we don't, to try to feel joy. And I couldn't imagine how we were going to be able to feel joy on that Sabbath. The service that night was one of the most passionate, spiritually uplifting services I had ever attended. Reb Zalman was the father of Jewish modern-day prayer, called Davonology. As Reb Zalman would say, Davonology is a Yiddish word for prayer, but it's not an intellectual exercise. He said that it is the heart encounter, a lover's tryst with something alive, immediate, and true. Rabbi Lawrence Kushner called him the doctor of prayer, and he wrote his prescription for prayer in many of his books, but most especially in his book, Davening, a guide to meaningful Jewish prayer. He taught that prayer is from the Latin word precarious, which means to obtain by entreaty. Worship, which means honor shown to an object, according to Reb Zalman, is, yay, God. Well, that's kind of a wonderful, renewing way to look at prayer. Yay, God. So what is Reb Zalman's prescription for prayer? Let's take a look at that. First of all, he says it comes from intention. He tells an old story of the Baal Shem Tov, who was the founder of Hasidic Judaism, who was coming to a synagogue and turning back at the door and was unable to enter. Too many prayers inside, he said. But Master, that was often what the disciples would call their special rabbi. But Master, asked his disciples, surely a room full of prayer is a good thing. But all the prayers are stuck there in the building, the Baal Shem answered. None of them are going up to heaven. They're all stuck inside this building. And so we're taught that our prayers must have wings. For some of us who are exhausted from life, you may not be able to fly. Others of you who are able to leave behind their worries can make a truly joyful noise to God. So how can we be sure our prayers ascend to the heavens? And what can help us to be able to fly? Through kavanah, which means our intention. Oh, but kavanah is so much more than that, Reb Zalman says. It means praying from the heart rather than praying centered solely in the mind. You see, all Hebrew words have a root, and the root has a basic meaning. The Hebrew word for kavanah is formed from the root kaf vav nun, which means to straighten or direct. You are aiming your intention at God, like writing an address on an envelope. If you come into the sanctuary and you open your heart to really communicating with God, that is your kavanah. Yes, that is only the beginning. What about when you raise a cup and say, l'chaim, to life, as we do whenever we say a blessing over the wine? In that moment, the blessing becomes a kavanah. You label the act and say who you're doing it for. Reb Zalman explains that staking out the intent of what you're doing is one of the primary levels of kavanah. It's like donating something to a synagogue or a church or a charity and saying, this is to honor so-and-so. Kavanah can begin for us when we have that aha moment, when we know we are here for a higher purpose. What are those moments in your own life when you felt the clarity of a higher purpose? Let's take a moment for reflection and see if you remember a time when your mind cleared and you knew what you needed to do for a higher purpose. We breathe in deeply 3 cleansing breaths to clear our minds from all the chatter and aim our intention, our kavanah, on what is our higher purpose. For me, it was that moment when I felt a call from the generations to serve the Jewish people, and I have been doing so ever since. At each passage in my life, my purpose transforms into new areas of growth and exploration. What is your higher purpose? Why are you here in this life? God made you for what? To do what? These are the most important questions to answer for yourself. I suppose for some of you, the very first thing you all thought of was probably your higher purpose and one at which you can aim your kavanah. Once you have discovered what your intention is, you need to look at whether your deeds are matching your intention. Are the words coming out of your mouth matching your intention. But oh, how difficult it is to concentrate sometimes. We call that the monkey mind. It jumps and it leaps from the page before us, and off it goes thinking about all the work we have left to do at home, or what we're going to have for a snack when we get home tonight, or all that's left undone in order for us to be able to even attend this meeting this morning. I have learned that one path toward Kavanah lies in meditating, as I'm sure you probably guessed. I like to meditate on the word shalom, which means peace. I visualize it in my mind's eye, and I discover that it has indeed brought me a measure of wholeness and peace. One can meditate on key verses that connect us to an understanding we're trying to achieve, a key quote that has special meaning to you. For me, one that is very powerful is the Shaviti. It's from Psalm 16, and it says, I set God before me always. God is always present. When I sit quietly and I look at this phrase or I visualize it, I can actually feel the presence of God with me. You all know how much music means to me, and how much music can transport us to that place of Kavanah where we can feel filled with God's love. Some of the most simple melodies, like a nigun, a wordless prayer, is all one needs to reach a higher realm. It is what I began this talk with, a nigun, a melody set to nonsense syllables. Reb Zalman shared that every locksmith has a master key with which he can open many doors. A nigunah is such a key, for it can unlock all doors. Why? Because a nigun sung in the proper way is like doing teshuvah. Teshuvah is true repentance and returning to God. The well springs of nigun and teshuvah are the simple yearnings of the heart that we all share. So I ask on his behalf, tell me, do you sometimes have the feeling that you ought to be better? The wish that you could be different, higher, wiser, closer to God? Well, let's take a moment to get in touch with that feeling. I'd like you to say, oi! Just like that, from that place of aspiration. Say, oi, oi, oi. You know what? You just did a little teshuvah, returning to God. That's what teshuvah is. Oi, if only I was better. If only I could be in a better place, a greater place, not from some crippling sense of guilt, but because we love God and we want to be closer to God. That's teshuvah. That's what a nigun can do for you. Try it. Take any melody that you love, put nonsense letters to it and words to it, and sing it. Sing it for 10, 15 minutes, and see whether or not your mind clears and you find yourself returning to God. The Jewish tradition is to formally pray 3 times a day, in the morning, afternoon, and evening. We call that keva. It's our fixed prayer. So we have kavanah, our intended prayer, and keva, our fixed prayer. And then there are a couple of other prayers thrown in for good measure that we're taught to say. For instance, when we wake up, we're to say, Modeh ani lefanecha, thank you, God, for restoring my soul to me and giving me another day of life. And then at night, we're to say the prayer, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listen, O Israel. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. It is perhaps the closest that we come to a doxology. And then one needs to look through their day and think about anyone that you had hurt in some way, including yourself. You are to do a reckoning of your day and ask God for forgiveness. Mentally ask the person that you may have hurt for forgiveness. Ask yourself for forgiveness. So I suggest you arrange each night for some quiet time before going to sleep. You could take a late evening walk, or sit by a window, or simply lie in bed. And repeat this prayer composed by Reb Zalman with full intention to whom and what you wish to forgive. Stop after each line, allowing yourself time to absorb and to feel your soul releasing each painful moment or feeling of injustice to the source of all being. And I will share this prayer with you and make sure that you are able to have access to it. This is the prayer that I say every night. You, my eternal friend, witness that I forgive anyone who hurt or upset me or who offended me, damaging my body, my property, my reputation, or people that I love, whether by accident or willfully, carelessly, or purposely, with words, deeds, thoughts, or attitudes in this lifetime and in any other incarnation. I forgive every person. May no one be punished because of me. Help me, eternal friend, to keep from offending you. Help me to be thoughtful and not commit outrage by doing what is evil in your eyes. Whatever sins I have committed, blot out, please, in your abundant kindness, and spare me suffering or harmless illness. Hear the words of my mouth, and may the meditations of my heart find acceptance before you, eternal friend, who protects and frees me. Amen. Feel the lightness within your heart and the peace you are experiencing as you drift off to sleep. Dear ones, whether it be kavanah, our intention, or keva, the fixed prayers, prayer is the central part of a Jew's life. Whether it be in a house of worship, gathered with many others, or alone on a hilltop watching the sun go down. I pray to the Holy One of all blessings that may all of our prayers ascend to the very heights of heaven. I leave you today with a prayer for a prayer asking God to help us to pray. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Amen. May this be God's will. Amen.
Thank you. David, as usual, you touch our heart. Thank you for being an all-in part of this adventure. We are very grateful for you. And Rabbi Pat, wow, once again, thank you for your voice. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your deep and profound faith. It just shines right through. Thank you. Sir Philip, man behind the curtain, thank you, Philip, for everything that you do and for making it and us look so wonderful.
That's not easy.
We are really, really, really grateful for that.
Really.
So, I pass it to thee.
If you would like to join this community, go to, again, www.peopleofdiversity.org and press that donate button. And we're going to take a minute right now and be grateful for the tithes and offerings that we receive that keep this effort going and our mission going out there. Many paths to one divinity. So take a breath, close your eyes, and we say, Spirit, thank you for all these beautiful, wonderful people that have come together to make this happen, for the beautiful, wonderful people that are watching, all the people that we don't even know about that we have impacted with this effort. And we are so grateful. And we say, Amen.
Amen. So in honor of maintaining the chaotic flow of this particular service, let's jump back for just a second because I see that I missed a part.
Oh, okay.
We need to invite them back to the deep dive right after at 11:45 to 12:15 exactly. And to the evening service at 5:45.
Right. And if you were not around last week on Wednesday night to view our Council of Many Paths live, go to the Facebook page or go to The New Way YouTube channel, the one with the hands. It's probably down there in the corner right now. And watch that. We had 8 of our 9 speakers that answered 3 questions and introduced themselves, and it was just a beautiful evening and well worth your time to watch. So just go back and view that if you haven't seen it yet. I think you could even go back a couple of times. So let's close our service and everybody take a deep breath. We're going to do an energetic healing circle. We do this every week. We have an awesome song that we listen to by Daniel Nahmod, and we send out our energy to everyone in our circle, in the world, really. It's all energy. And when we send positive, good vibrations out there and we open ourselves up to receive those positive, good vibrations back, it changes things. It makes a difference. And so we invite you to join us with that. And we thank you for being here today. And we bless you. And we will see you after the service at the deep dive, or tonight at 5:45, and or next week. And thank you very much.
See you next time.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of